Good evening and welcome to News Center Maine at 5:30. I'm Chris Costa.
And I'm Amanda Hill. We start tonight in Afghanistan, where Taliban fighters are patrolling the streets of the capital city, Kabul, tonight.
As the U.S. withdraws, the Taliban is assuming power all across that nation. The group promised to rule peacefully and respect women's rights. But today, Reuters reports at least 3 people were killed during anti-Taliban protests. Thousands flocked to Kabul's international airport, hoping to flee the country. Taliban fighters stood in their way.
Now, this all comes as the U.S. works to evacuate its own citizens and the Afghans who risked their lives to help our troops. And Maine could play a major role in resettling some of those Afghan refugees. Groups in our state are already preparing for an influx.
As News Center Maine's Jackie Mundry reports, for one Afghanistan veteran from the Maine town of Corinna, this is personal. He's fighting to bring someone who had his back during the war to safety in the U.S.
Disbelief, anger, sadness.
Those are just some of the emotions Army veteran specialist Richard Poulin is feeling as he watches the Taliban take over in Afghanistan.
Brings back a lot that people try to forget.
Poulin served in Afghanistan from 2012 to 2013. During that time, he worked with an interpreter. For safety reasons, Poulin wouldn't tell me his name, except that he goes by Rocky. The two still talk every day.
Begging for help and saying, you know, the Taliban are here in Kabul. I don't know if I'll be alive tomorrow. Please help me. Do anything you can.
Poulin says he has been working with local and federal elected officials to get Rocky and his family safely to the U.S.
I'll fight tooth and nail to get him over here because, you know, he would do the same for me.
Poulin isn't the only Mainer fighting.
How do we support our communities here as they are processing, you know, what's going on back
Mofala Chipman from the Maine Immigrants Human Rights Coalition is trying to answer that question. But this isn't the first time Maine has had to prepare for immigrants.
The city of Portland is dealing with a large influx of asylum seekers.
Right now, there are more than 150 asylum seekers from
As
Africa.
many of you may remember, 2 years ago, hundreds of refugees came to Portland. That's because Maine is a refugee resettlement state, which means services are available for refugees seeking asylum. Chipman says her organization not only offers support to refugees.
There are people here who are connected to those people that are running. So how do we support those?
And for the troops in Afghanistan,
Help these guys get out and then get yourselves home too.
Poulin says he's hoping for a safe return for U.S. troops and his Afghan friends. Jackie Mundry, News Center, Maine.
And there will be a protest to show support to the Afghan refugees in Portland Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock in Monument Square.